Hi, it's Nadira with Fresh Fire International Ministries, welcoming you back for another Wisdom Wednesday Nugget. I pray that you had a wonderful Christmas season and that you are having a blessed New Year so far. So listen, let's not wait until next year to receive the promises of God or to step into the promises of God that He has given us. New Year is an exciting time. It's a new beginning. It's for some people, it can be a resetting. For some, it could be picking up the New Year's resolutions from last year that may have lasted into the middle of the year last year, or maybe even a couple of months into the new year last year. It's a time that people look forward in anticipation. You know, even though we're fairly new into this new year, there's still people looking forward in anticipation to what God is going to do this year. Those things are exciting, and there's nothing wrong with new beginnings. I just wonder if there are things that God promised to us last year that we may not have received or remain unfulfilled. And not unfulfilled because God didn't do something on His part, but unfulfilled because we didn't do something on our part. Maybe the thing that we didn't do was work our faith. Maybe that thing that we have forgotten to do is to get in alignment with God's vision for the promise that He gave us. Or it could be a matter of letting something go so that God could get something better in our hands. It can even be that the fulfillment of that promise was at our feet, but we walked away from it because we may not have felt worthy of receiving that promise. But regardless of what the reason is, we don't need to wait until 2026 to receive the promises of God that He has given us. No need to add it to next year's list of promises to receive when the appointed time is now. Some may think, well, I didn't receive the promise in 2024, so I'm not going to receive it. I'm definitely not going to receive it this year. Let's not believe those lies. I remember I had a coworker who told me about a time that God had promised her a house. And this was her dream house. It was an area that she loved. The house had everything she wanted in it. It was larger than she, was looking for, in a house, but it was her dream house. It was something beautiful that God had promised her. But the thing is, when it came for her to take action on receiving that promise from God, she just wasn't able to do it. She didn't put the contract on the house to try and get it. She didn't get in the mindset of, okay, I'm going to move. God promised this to me. I'm waiting in an expectation, but I'm also making plans now for when that comes to pass. And what ended up happening is that someone else bought that house. And she always told me how she regretted that she didn't take action on it, that she wasn't able to step out and do what she needed to do to receive that house. And look, we've always been there. You live and you learn. We've all have done that. But I just remember how she's just disappointed still in the fact that she missed that. And so in 2 Corinthians 1:19, Paul says, "For Jesus Christ, the Son of God, does not waver between yes and no." So as we know, His yes is yes and His no is no. And Paul goes on to say, He is the one whom Silas, Timothy, and I preach to you. And as God's ultimate yes, He always does what He says. If we have received the promise from God, and the appointed time for fruition of that promise is now, then we don't have to wait another year for it to come to pass. We can maybe look back and reflect on promises that God promised us last year that He wanted us to have, and we may have missed for whatever the reason is. We can look back and reflect on Did I not take action? Did I not work my faith? Was it a matter of me thinking that I didn't deserve it? Whatever it is, let's reflect on it and not let it happen in 2025. In 2025, let's grab a hold of those promises, the things that God wants to get to us, and let's look forward in anticipation of receiving those promises, those things that God wants to get to us. And let's allow ourselves to not only take action, if the action is required on our part, but seeing ourselves as worthy of receiving everything that God has for us. So I pray that this bless someone. If you need anything, please feel free to reach out to the ministry at ffiministries.com, and know that we love you and we are praying for you, and we will see you next week on Wisdom Wednesday. God bless you. Bye-bye.